I'm Shana Rai and I'm your examiner today. May I know your full name, Sean?
My full name is Vijay Bosnet, but you can call me from my first name, that is Vijay.
Vijay, where are you from?
Permanently, I am from Gorkha, but I have been residing here in Kathmandu since 2 years.
And where do you live here in Kathmandu?
I live in the heart of the city, that is Sorokote, and it is quite interesting place to reside.
Now let's move into part 1. In part 1, we are talking about old buildings. Have you ever visited any old buildings till now?
As I said earlier, I reside here in Kathmandu, and I have visited many buildings since residing here, and fortunately I just visited the Darbar High School.
And do you wish to visit any old building in the coming future?
I am planning to visit the Mankamna temple, which is situated at my hometown.
Yes.
It is very beautiful and quite interesting place to worship and something doing.
And where do you want to live? In old building or in modern or new building?
Although the old building are quite interesting places, I love to visit. I love to reside in the new building because in the new building we can find so much designing art and sculpture in the new building. Whereas in the old building, it get rusted by the surrounding. So that is why in future I will be residing in the new buildings.
And do you think it's important to preserve old buildings?
Of course, I opine that it is important to preserve the old building because in the old building our cultural heritage reside there, and if it get extinct from the society, then our identity will be disappear from the world.
Do you prefer to wear watch?
Although I have not wear the watch today, but I am keen in wearing the watch because while wearing the watch, uh, it will help me to be punctual at time, which is very sufficient for an student to be in time.
And has anybody ever gave you a watch as a present or a gift?
Well, let me think about that. I think, luckily, I think I have got the gift as watch during at my 18th birthday, which was given by my brother. He is very special to me, and he knows my likes and dislikes, so that is why he gave me watch as a gift.
Okay, thank you so much. That was the end of your part 1. Now let's move on to part 2. In part 2, you'll have to describe a family member with whom you would like to work with. You should say who he or she is, why do you like to work with him, and what work do you want to start with him or her. You'll get 1 minute to prepare for this. You could take this paper and pencil to make some notes. And after this 1 minute, you could start talking for 2 minutes. Now you can stop and start talking for 2 minutes. Don't worry about the timing. I will be stopping you when the time is up.
Well, the question is about the family members who I like to have in the future for the business. The one person who I like to start up with the business is my brother. He's so well caring and he's a humble guy. And as he is with me within my childhood, and he's so well caring since then until now. He's so closer to my heart than any other else in my family members. Along with that, he used to examine my likes and dislikes, which is very essential for to start up a business. And when he, when I usually get involved in some tasks or some tasks, then you will help me to overcome this task, and we can easily easily achieve our goals, which is so much prominent to start up our business. And as business requires so much physical and mental effort, he can easily overcome with it, and he can easily console the staff members how to overcome with it.
Yes.
And he is, as I said, that he's he is with me since my childhood, and he can easily overcome with my thick and thins, which is very important for me. So if I get chance, then I will obviously take help from my brother to start up a business in the future.
Thank you so much, Vijay. That was the end of your IELTS speaking part 2. Now let's move on to part 3. In part 3, we are talking about family business itself. What types of family business are there in your country?
Well, there are variety type of family business in my country, which can be considered as the local business that is about uh, doing the doing the business which are done by their forefathers or by their grandparents, and they do their in for the future, which
Yes.
is which is considered them as their prominent goal.
And do you think children enjoy working with your family?
Well, in that case, I don't think that the children will overcome their parents' business in the future, because every child has their own needs and demands. They don't want to be involved in their family business, requiting their own demands and ideas and knowledge.
And do you think children will take over the family business in the coming future?
Well, I don't think they will take over their family business in the future, because uh, while taking while taking this uh, business in the future, they will get so much hindrances, which will be difficult for them to overcome with it. Rather than they will prefer their own business, such as in which field they are perfect and good at, so that which will help them to be better in the future.
What are the advantages of running a family business?
Well, there are varied merits while doing the business within the family circle, because while doing the business within the family, we can easily understand their point of views, and we can easily be involved with them in varied tasks, which helps them to negotiate how to overcome with these difficulties. And rather than, if we don't involve within the family, then there may be uh, obstacles between them,
Okay, so can you also say me some of the disadvantages of running a family business?
well, while doing the family business, it helps them to come closer within them, but there also comes the disputes between the family members while doing the business, because if one individual of a family uh, becomes uh, the if one if one individual of a family becomes unhealthy or unable to do some sort of task, then the whole family members have to bear the problem, which is a bit difficult for them to overcome with it. And also, if there can be occur some disputes between the family members, which helps them, which create an impact for them to run the business further in the future.
Thank you so much, Vijay. This is the end of your IELTS speaking test itself. We have received overall band score 6. I guess you should work on your fluency, because you were showing some hesitations when you were speaking. There were some fluency errors in your speaking, although your vocabulary and your pronunciation was good. That's the reason you scored 6 in lexical resource, 6.5 in pronunciation, but 5.5 in fluency and coherence, because there were some kind of unnatural pauses or hesitations in your speaking. Similarly, your grammatical range and accuracy is also the another thing that you would have to work on. Basically, your tenses were mistaken. I was asking you the question in another tense and you were replying me in another tense. Work on your tenses, singular, plural. If you could work in these things, I hope you could score very nice in your actual test itself. I wish you best of luck for your test. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me also.